So anyway, Coda finishes this game, and then really he just kind of takes off for a while. So this is June of 2011, and I didn't hear anything from him for several weeks, I guess. And so out of nowhere, one day I get an email, and it's got a private link to a new game of Coda's. This one is called The Tower, and to my knowledge, it's the last game that Coda ever made. So
Did he die?
Take a look.
Is that there's gonna be a twist at your friend suicide or something? Because they didn't seem very mentally stable with all of the self-destructive games they were making.
This is where I have trouble saying anything meaningful about Coda's work. Because more than anything else, The Tower just feels distant. It feels like it's trying to distance itself from the world. It's a very cold game. This room actually has a maze in it.
Okay. Ow.
Except that all the walls of the maze are invisible. And then every time you touch one of the walls, there's this awful flashing and noise. So the experience is really miserable. The game goes beyond not being meant to be played. It actually seems to despise the player for trying to play it at all. But I do want to show you the rest of the levels, so when you're ready to continue, press enter and I'll put a bridge over the maze.
Okay. Thank you. Why?
And to be fair, it's not like this is the first game that's needed some modification to be playable. Like the house cleaning game. You know, that one used to actually loop the cleaning chores and you just cleaned a house forever. I had to cut it off so that you could exit the house and the game would actually end. But that game had an idea that it was actually trying to communicate. What's the deeper idea behind the invisible maze?
That you never know what you're going to do wrong until you do it when you're making a game. Like you can have all your stuff planned out and when you actually try to execute it, it doesn't work.
The only way past this challenge is to randomly guess the 6-digit code. Like the invisible maze, it's frustrating to me, because it's the opposite of everything else that Coda has made. It doesn't encourage thought or engagement. It doesn't ask anything of me, except a lot of my time. If I could have reached him during this time, then maybe I could have asked him, but I couldn't. I still don't really understand why this is here. I'll put the code on the ground for you here, though, so that we can move on.
Okay, thank you. But yeah, I'm getting the vibe that his friend is dead now. Or that, you know, in the narrative at least. I hope a person didn't really die. Yeah, okay. Yeah, so this makes me feel like it's about how you have to kind of guess in life. You never know what's gonna be like the best thing to do. You get like you apply for a job at many places, 2 places reply. They're similar but different, so which one do you choose? You make an educated guess, but you can't be sure that they're not lying about something, like about the hours or the pay or the job description. So you make a guess and you hope for the best, but sometimes it takes a lot of tries to get the best result.
The switch to open this door is actually on the other side of the door, meaning that it's literally impossible to solve from this side. So even if you somehow brute forced your way through the first 2 challenges and you got to this point, there's actually just no way to progress. And it's scary for me, the idea of Coda cutting himself off entirely, just saying, you know, that's it, that's the end of the conversation, not giving me any way to fix the problem. I feel like a failure, I guess, when I can't fix the problem. But I can open this door for you, so Let me do that.
Okay. Was the problem depression? Because if the problem was depression,
Was I a
it's not your
failure
fault.
for not understanding this game?
No.
I don't know why I would be. It's not like everything needs to have a solution, but I feel it somehow. I feel like I failed, and I don't understand why.
Your friend just set you up for failure.
2011. I'm playing this for the very...
What?
I'm playing, I'm thinking to myself, I don't know this person. I have no idea who this person is. It wasn't the guy I knew, it wasn't my friend. I had come to so many conclusions from looking at all of his work up to this point, and then suddenly none of them...
None of them what? The game just kind of tried to kick me off, I think, because it suddenly unselected itself. I don't know if that's the game or my computer, but it's an interesting
I had been trying to.
thing.
That was the thing. For years I was trying to get to know him, to understand who he actually was and what he stood for. I asked him so many times to please just tell me what his games mean to him. I asked him please to tell me what the 3 dots mean. And he wouldn't.
He was just an ass. If he didn't want to talk about his game with you, he shouldn't have showed you his games.
I just felt so strongly that if I could have connected with him, that if I could have somehow made his work my own, that I would finally be once and for all happy. It was that I needed to see myself in someone else. I needed to be someone other than me. But he stopped.
Now you're
and left.
just talking bullshit.
Felt somehow like I had failed.
Trying to understand someone doesn't mean you're trying to be them. You're just talking bullshit now.
Where did I screw up? I'm the reason that you stopped making games, aren't I? It's because of what I did. I poisoned it for you.
Well, your friend was just an asshole then. Like, you tried to understand their work, they wouldn't talk to you about it. You tried to be their friend, they were distant to you. And, like, they kept getting worse and worse, and you were worried they had anxiety and depression, and they just didn't care, and now they're telling you to fuck off. Well, they're just a terrible person.
I don't think I ever told you this, but when I took your work and I was showing it to people, it actually felt... It felt as though I were responsible for something important and valuable.
I wonder at times whether you think I'm making these games for you. Well, why are you making games and showing them to him if you don't want him to see him? You're being stupid.
And the people who played them, they treated me like I was important. They really listened and cared about what I had to say. Even though I was showing your work, I felt good about myself. Finally. For a moment, while I had that, I liked myself.
You've so infected my personal space that it's possible I did begin to plant solutions in my work somewhere hidden between the games. If there was an answer, a meaning, would it make you any happier? Would you stop taking my gifts and showing them to people against my wishes? Well, yeah, that was a really dick thing to do. It was a terrible thing to do. Giving them something that is not yours to give, violating the one boundary that keeps me safe. It doesn't keep you safe, though. You're just an asshole. They're both assholes. Would you stop changing my games? Stop adding lampposts to them. Lampposts?
And then you stopped. And I didn't have anything left to show people.
Would you simply...
I just had to be with myself. And as soon as that happened, there was no feeling at all.
Would...
Nothing. Less than nothing.
Would you simply...
What does that
Shut up!
mean?
Would you simply let them be what they are? When I am around you, I feel physically ill. Okay, that person's an asshole. You desperately need something and I cannot give it to you. I literally do not have it. You could have worked together, you know? If this asshole recluse hadn't been such an asshole recluse, and the other asshole who shows his work without asking him hadn't been such assholes, they could have actually worked together. Because they both like programming, right? So they could have made a great game together. They could have had a project and have fun and maybe even make money if it sells. Who knows? But no, they were both assholes. So they just deserve to be treated like assholes. So there. Struggling to come up with new ideas is not making me depressed. Low points are just part of the process. The fact that you think I am frustrated or broken says more about you than about me. I realize that this doesn't make sense to you just yet. Which is fine, you're not my problem to solve. What a great friend, right? Instead of talking to him, telling him how he feels and stuff, he just made a game entirely to belittle him. Yeah, he did something asshole-ish, showing his games to other people. And apparently he had a weird happiness about it that was fucked up. But this person is not, like, it's not a bad guy victim situation. They're both assholes. But I do hope that one day it clicks and that you make peace with things, with this thing you are wrestling.
I'm afraid that I did something really stupid because I don't like myself.
And when you finally see what I'm talking about... Don't say anything. Let me guess, there won't be a lever on the other side or something? Just to keep it... Yeah. I knew it.
That's why I'm releasing this collection of your work. Is because I haven't been able to find any other way to reach you. I've tried everything. And so a part of me has hope that if I put this compilation out into the world, and if I put my name on it, that maybe enough people will play it so that it'll find its way to you, so that I can tell you that I'm sorry. I know I screwed up. If I apologize to you truly and deeply, will you start making games again? Please, I need to feel okay with myself again. And I always felt okay as long as I had your work to see myself in. I mean, is something wrong with me?
The door is getting closer.
Because I know that I did an awful thing, and I'm doing it again right now. Like, I'm showing people your work, but I can't stop myself from doing it. That's how badly I need to feel something again, like I'm an addict. There has to be something wrong with me.
There is.
Can I apologize? What if I tell you I was wrong? Will that work? Will that fix it? I don't know. I don't think it will, but there's nothing else that I can do. Just tell me what you want. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Please, start making games again. Please help me. Please give me some of whatever it is that makes you complete. I want whatever that wholeness is that you just summoned out of nothing and you put into your work. You were complete in some way that I never was.
Shut up.
I want to know how to be a good person. I want to know how not to hate myself. Please. I'm fading, and all I want is to know that I'm going to be okay.
You're messed up. You're both messed up.